Hi, I'm back again for another good idea for your garden. You know, in summertime, temperatures can really rise and plants can be stressed by the high temperatures. In particular, tomato plants can stop their fruit production. The blossoms can actually just drop off when temperatures rise above 95 degrees. But there are some things that we can do, and I'm going to make a couple of videos on this subject. But this particular video now is going to be about what I call cooling pots or wicking pots. And these can be put around in the garden for evaporative cooling, which will cool the air in the garden. You know, one of the properties of water is that it takes heat energy out of surrounding surfaces during the evaporation process. So when the sun is hot, water is evaporating, the surfaces that it's evaporating from are cooling down. So all we need to do to make these various kinds of cooling pots and towers is to have some cotton cloth for wicking the water up to the surface of the pots. Cotton t-shirts work just great if you have a lot of torn ones around. And I'll show you how to make one for a larger cooling surface. If you have a more open area, you can set out a pan like this. This is just a pretty shallow baking pan. And I've tied a grid of strings around on the length and the width, just 2 strings each, using cotton string, but you could also use large rubber bands if you have them. And then you take strips of cotton that are going to be the wicks to bring the water to the surface and keeping it fed. And these just get placed over the strings. And then it's all covered with another piece of cotton t-shirt that fits entirely over the pan. And then if you have a large rubber band, you can just put it on, but I don't, so I'm going to just tie it on with a string. So that would be good in a kind of more open area. Now, if you want to get cooling right in among the plants, you can use smaller cans, ceramic pots, of course the kind that doesn't have a hole in it at the bottom. And I'll show you how to make these. It's really pretty much the same idea. You need a piece of cloth that is wide enough to go over the circumference of the can and long enough to get down to the bottom of the can. And then you just put the pieces inside, fill it with water, and then just arrange the cloth over the top and surround it with a rubber band. You can actually use many different shapes of pans. Here's some I made from various ceramic pots. And just put them all around the garden in places where your vegetables would be happier being a little cooler. The air will blow across the surface of this zone of cooling air and circulate the cooler air around the garden. And just check the level of water every day to make sure you have that continuous wicking of the cotton. Now, if you have a place to suspend some of these wicking pots, I'll show you how to make a very simple harness in order to hold the pots up and hang them from someplace. You just take 2 pieces of string, find the center point, more or less, and tie it into a knot. Just and spread them on the table. Put the can in the center, and then pull the strings up. Put a rubber band around the strings. Make them kind of evenly spaced. And there, put the rubber band higher up on the can, by the way. When this has water, it'll be more wobbly. And then you have a harness that you can knot and hang up. And another way to do that would be if you have an old sock, you can just cut off the toe end, poke some holes in it, and tie some strings to the holes to make another kind of a saddle. For those of you who have read my book and are using the kind of tomato support that I have in my book, I want to show you how easy it is to actually bring cooling to higher levels within the tomato plant by hanging the wicking pot from the top bars of the tomato supports that I designed. Now, with the wicking pot, you can also bring cooling temperatures right into the tomato plant by hanging the pots from the top bars. And you can put a couple of them on each of the supports, maybe even 3 or 4. The cooling temperatures at the surface, cold air drops, it'll really make a difference for your plants. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Okay. I have a lot more ideas coming along, including another way to bring cooling to the garden by making a very simple, quick to put up, quick to take down shade cap. So look for that video too. Follow me on Center Square Gardens Facebook page or my website www.centersquaregardens.com. You'll find lots of information. Thanks for watching.